she's a black woman, or at least I thought she was. She clearly has black children. So are you saying you don't mind your children growing up in a society where they cannot be taught black?
And Nicki makes a lot of cash. Not as much as Michael Dell, not quite.
He has many, many issues that would lead one to believe that those issues are possibly the reason that she's cozying up to MAGA.
Need to worry about Don. She need to be with Don Lennon, Nicki Minaj need to be worried about Chris Hansen. That's she need.
Okay, so the timeline just did that thing again. 1 minute, Nicki Minaj is throwing little political hints like it's nothing, and the next minute, she's fully stepping into a MAGA era like she's been waiting on this moment. And black celebrities, they are not cheering her on. The reactions have been loud, messy, and straight up unsupportive in just a few weeks. Because this doesn't feel like a casual opinion. It feels like a hard pivot. And people who used to ride for Nicki are now side-eyeing every single move like, wait, since when? Let's keep it real. This is not how Nicki moved the first time Donald Trump was running things. Back then, she was dragging him online, calling him evil, and clowning celebs who hopped on the Trump train.
After years of calling Donald Trump out, Nicki Minaj insisted she was not going to jump on the Trump bandwagon in 2020. Now she's singing the president's praises as a full-throated MAGA supporter. So what happened?
She made it crystal clear that could never be her, and she said it with her whole chest during a Polestar Live conference in 2020. When someone asked Nicki how she felt about Trump, she didn't even hesitate. She said she wasn't about to jump on Donald Trump's bandwagon, period. And now, that statement aged like milk. Because fast forward to today, and she's standing on the total opposite side, praising him like she's his biggest fan.
I have the utmost respect and admiration for our president.
The rapper was effusive in her praise for President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance during an interview with Erica Kirk at Turning Point's America Fest.
He's given so many people hope that there's a chance to beat the bad guys.
I don't like that, one fan said. And that's the vibe a lot of people are on right now. For many, it's not even about party politics. What hits the hardest is the border stuff. Kids being separated from parents. And that's why people feel personally betrayed. Especially since Nicki has talked about coming to America and struggling early on. But today she's out here calling Trump the best president this country ever had. And the backlash is loud for a reason. Black celebrities are calling her out publicly, saying she's being hypocritical, switching sides for clout, and turning her back on the same communities that helped build her up.
The world looked very different 15 years ago when Minaj used Trump, then a private citizen and reality TV star, as an example of misogyny against women in the entertainment industry.
But Donald Trump, he gets to hang out with young and have 50 different wives and just be cool.
So yeah, this isn't just Nicki trending. This is culture drama. Let's break down who spoke up, what they said, and why this whole thing blew up online. One of the first voices to check Nicki was D.L. Hughley back in December, right after she fired off tweets aimed at California Governor Gavin Newsom. And from there, it only got messier. Nicki posted a shot at Governor Newsom, basically implying he doesn't care about kids' health. And that instantly set the timeline on fire. And that's when D.L. Hughley jumped in and clapped back with zero hesitation. D.L. didn't even argue policy. He went straight to her personal life and basically said she shouldn't be speaking on kids at all because of the serious legal issues tied to people in her immediate circle. He even made a Chris Hansen reference to underline the point. And you already know the internet ate that up and turned it into clips, captions, and nonstop quotes. But the backlash didn't stop with DL's joke. People also started reminding everybody that a huge part of Nicki's career has been powered by her LGBTQ+ fan base, fans who've stood 10 toes down for her for years, defended her through every storm, and kept her music moving no matter what. So when Nicki's recent wording started sounding disrespectful to some listeners, the pushback got even louder. Folks weren't just mad, they were disappointed. Like, how you gonna switch energy on the same people who always had your back? That's when Tiffany Pollard, New York, spoke to TMZ and didn't hold back at all. She said Nicki supporting Trump feels like a slap in the face to the LGBTQ plus fans who've been writing for her for years. And that line hit hard because it summed up what a lot of people were already feeling.
You know, we love her music. I've spoken to her several times. You know, collectively, I feel like we were a little bit disappointed with her, but I feel like she needs to spend a lot of time with Mr. Bruce Springsteen. She needs to go sit on his lap and let him speak some words of wisdom to her heart. Because somebody got her off track and she needs guidance back home.
Tiffany also made it clear, people still love Nicki's music, no debate. But lately, fans aren't vibing with the way Nicki's been talking. And the tone has people uneasy, like it's getting meaner and messier instead of sharp and controlled. And Tiffany didn't go full cancel her either. She suggested Nicki needs different voices around her, more progressive energy, less echo chamber hype. And she even mentioned someone like Bruce Springsteen as the type of presence that could shift the mindset. Then everything really blew up when Nicki went at Don Lemon. People say she used a derogatory term that came off as disrespectful. And that's when it went from messy to, this is turning into a real problem, fast. Don Lemon clapped back too, saying Nicki should worry less about him and more about her own situation, including the fact that she still doesn't have U.S. citizenship. And the timeline lit up instantly, because once that got said out loud, everybody started connecting dots and rereading her recent moves. DL Hughley jumped back in again to back Don up, basically telling Nicki to stop aiming at Don Lemon and focus on her own household, because the legal trouble tied to people close to her is the real weight she can't dodge. And the way he framed it made it sound like, this isn't internet beef, this is real-life consequences. And that's exactly why the conversation keeps getting uglier. Brutal, but fans couldn't stop talking about it. Now rumors are flying that the Carters, yes, Beyonce and Jay-Z, are completely done with Nicki, like the door is shut and the key got tossed. Word going around is Beyonce allegedly cut ties and wants nothing to do with the chaos Nicki's been stirring up lately. People keep comparing it to the Kanye MAGA spiral, like first it was him and doing the loud pivot, and now Nicki's following that same messy path. And if those whispers are true, fans say it's a sad look because Nicki's legacy used to feel like power and pride. Now it's getting drowned out by heated posts and political drama. A lot of supporters are calling it a painful fall from grace vibe because the music is still there, but the headlines keep stealing the show. Then Dr. Umar entered the chat and the tone switched up fast. Instead of just clowning Nicki like everybody else, he started analyzing what he thinks is really happening.
I believe that Donald Trump and the conservative movement in this country selected Nicki Minaj because they needed a replacement for Candace Owens. Remember, Candace Owens has fallen out of favor with the Republican Party and the mainstream conservative white agenda because she's now exposing the Zionist control of the conservative movement and of the United States government. In fact, Art, I would argue that Charlie Kirk was assassinated, I believe, by the Zionist movement. We're going to distance ourselves from Candace, and this is Donald Trump, the Republican Party, and the mainstream white conservative movement. We got to find another black woman. We got to find another black woman who can compete with Candace Owens nationally and internationally to bring attention away from Candace Owens, who is highlighting the Israeli influence on American politics. And so who better to use than Nicki Minaj?
And his take had the internet arguing in circles. Umar claims MAGA is trying to use Nicki as a token black conservative woman, especially since Candace Owens has been drifting away from Trump over political disagreements. That's his opinion, but it lit the timeline up. He also said he was shocked seeing Nicki at that Turning Point USA event with Erica Kirk, especially when she made comments suggesting teaching black history can make white kids feel less than. Dr. Umar pushed back hard, saying that type of framing is exactly what keeps progress stuck, and he didn't hold back when it came to the personal side either. He said it's wild watching Nicki talk like that while she's raising a black child herself, and that comment hit people right in the chest, because it turned the whole debate into, what message is she really sending now?
Correct, but she said something to the effect that it's not just that we tell black children to feel proud of themselves, but it's like we're doing that. And at the same time, we're telling other children not to feel proud of themselves. And so I guess she was alluding to this false narrative that the conservatives are putting out there, that teaching black children black history and teaching white children the true history of America is somehow going to make white children feel bad about themselves. That bothered me because she's a black woman, or at least I thought she was. She clearly has black children. So are you saying you don't mind your children growing up in a society where they cannot be taught black history or the true history of America because some people feel it offends the self-esteem of white children? And this is so hypocritical, Art, because we've been in America 400 years at least under British North American control. And look at how the self-esteem and self-worth and self-value of black children has been and continues to be compromised for the benefit of the white child. And yet you're telling me that to implement a curriculum of corrective history where you're not insulting white people, you're not denigrating white people, you're simply making sure white children understand that the foundation of this country was laid and built and cemented on the genocide of Native Americans and the enslavement of African people. And not just the enslavement of African people, the dehumanization of African.
Now, as for why Nicki decided to take this route.
When it comes to why Nicki's taking this new route, Umar admitted he doesn't fully know what's driving it. He said he can't tell if it's about chasing the bag or if something deeper is going on. Like, he even floated this idea that MAGA could have leverage on her, and that theory alone sent social media into full detective mode. But Lizzo, she's not buying the pressure story at all. She straight up labeled Nicki a sellout, saying it's not about threats or fear. It's about money and ego, period. Lizzo's angle is that Nicki figured siding with Trump could be more profitable now that her career isn't sitting at the top like it used to.
Hello guys, I'm with my favorite president, the best president of all time.
And I'm with the queen of rap.
And she didn't stop there. Lizzo warned that we're about to see more black celebs jump on the MAGA wave the second their relevance starts slipping, because some people will chase whatever lane feels most beneficial in the moment. She basically said, you're going to see it, like it's already started and it's only going to grow. And the reason that prediction hits so hard is because it matches what fans have been saying online. Social media instantly flooded with theories about what's really going on with Nicki, and one post on X went viral saying Nicki isn't just a sellout, she's bait. The point they were making is that this could be transactional, like a performance designed to pull in a certain crowd and turn controversy into clicks and protection. Once that fire started, the roasting got out of hand fast. People started dragging everything, her career moves, her choices, her personal life, and the comments turned into a full-on pile-on. You already know how the internet gets when it smells weakness. It goes for the throat, and I'm not repeating the nasty insults people were throwing around, because a lot of it crossed the line into pure disrespect. But the main theme was loud. Pick a lane. What is this pivot? And who is this really for? The wig jokes, the appearance digs, the personal attacks, it all turned into a messy spectacle. So now it's your turn. What do you think really pushed Nicki into this MAGA era? Is it about chasing the bag, chasing protection, and trying to stay relevant at any cost? Or do you think something deeper is happening behind the scenes? And do you believe the argument that MAGA is trying to use Nicki as a token figure, the way Dr. Umar suggested? Or is that reaching? Here's the real question. Does Nicki even believe what she's saying? Or is she reading off a playbook that keeps her trending and protected? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if you want more breakdowns like this, and subscribe with notifications on, because the next video digs into the latest twist in Nicki's political shift, and it's even messier than this.
Look, This is what I'll say to Nicki Minaj. I normally don't respond to things like this, but F it. I'm going to do it this time. I think Nicki Minaj has made it very clear how she feels about African Americans in this country. For I don't think she's one of them, obviously. And she should, under Trump's rules, she should be deported because I don't think, reportedly, that she is a legal citizen here. She is undocumented. And so she has shown her disdain for African Americans. So why are you supporting her? Why are you buying her records? She's also supporting, I have lots of gay friends who love Nicki Minaj. Why are you supporting this homophobic, bigoted, ignorant woman?